Okay, 1:23 p.m., April 21st, back with another video. And I was thinking, well, first of all, I need to get on my bike, but I spent a lot of time this morning in bed, which is really weird for me because I usually get up early. I'm an early riser, but I haven't really been, my sleeping pattern has been off and just, I'm on slow motion right now. So anyway, I'm going to hit that bicycle and go out and go for a ride in a little bit. But right now, I was thinking about how I think a lot of people, especially people who used to know me, they think that I'm living in the same, like, somehow I'm vibrating on the same energy field or something that I did when I was back in high school, or I'm living in a certain time period, and that's not true. I mean, I've changed a lot. Okay, um, there's certain things that I am the way I am that is a part of my personality, and it's who I am. I mean, I'm not going to change that. That's just who I am. But as far as, like, I'm still giggly. I still like laughing. Okay, I still have a weird sense of humor. Things that I thought were cringeworthy or whatever that made me like, oh my god, or things that embarrassed me or something. All those things are the same. Okay, I can't change that. It's just how it is, right? But my outlook on life has changed. Like, for people who used to know me, I used to study with Jehovah's Witnesses, and then I was interested in all these other strange spiritual concepts and that sort of thing. And then I've just become, like, very content with what I've learned in my life, and this is where I'm at right now. So I'm not so much exploring things as I was before. I'm more like stable in my own mindset. So that's changed. Um, see, oh, I'm not naive anymore. Like, I know people who used to know me knew that my family was bullying me, and I had no idea that they were. I just thought they were grouchy or whatever, but I'm not naive or oblivious to that fact anymore. So yeah, I mean, I have changed, and obviously this isn't the 1980s, it's, the 2000s, and, I'm not living. I think people think this is because it seems as though I don't make progress in life because I'm being observed by the same people who've always kept me in a bubble. That bubble, whether that be at school or at work, it's like these people hover over me and they control the aspects of my life. They control whether or not I go to work, whether I get a job interview, or any of these sort of things. So it looks as though Maria is stagnating in life, but it's not that way. It's more like you have these people who put systems in place to prevent me from living my life outside of their bubble, you know? And so that's what it is. Um, and I think when they talk about change, they're meaning changing to what they view or how they view things. And no, I mean, that's not the way it's supposed to be. We all have to, live our own life based on who we are. Now, I understand there's some people who, what I call, like, they walk on the wild side. Um, they do all kinds of things that might be considered, I don't know, risque or controversial or anything, but I don't. You know what I mean? I think some people might have gotten to everything that I do, first of all, that I do in my life is going to, when it comes to my ex-family, is going to, in their mind, set off some sort of need to debate, argue it, or, whatever. This is just how they are. They tend to be uh, controlling to the point of where they feel as though a grown woman has to justify her actions to them. Okay, there's a lot of imbalance that I now recognize. I mean, I knew growing up that my family was not this ideal type picturesque family that you see in storybooks or TV shows or whatever, family shows or whatever. I knew this, okay, but I didn't realize how manipulative and controlling they were. And a lot of it is malicious intent, and a lot of this is the fact that these people really are ignorant people. And it blew my mind to understand this because, um, you know, it's the reality that gets created around you when you're growing up. Like, you have a predominant clan of people, meaning, you know, my ex-family, who have this particular mindset where they think bullying is normal. Or if you do something, they take personal offense to it. They think everything is about them. Like, if you do something, whether that be, I don't know, you want to perfect your skill in roller skating. I used to roller skate, okay? So maybe one sibling, this is just an example, okay? But one sibling might look at what you're doing and they might think, well, I can be better than that. And then they feel like they have to conjure up in their mind, they got to conjure up this whole competition thing and make a game out of it that you didn't want to play. You're just sitting here focusing on what you're doing, and this means that they have to jump in. And some people are ignorant like that. They lack manners, they lack common sense, they lack compassion, and they just mistreat, you know, their families, you know. And it's more common than, you know, I'm not the only scapegoat in the world. I'm just somebody who's breaking it down for you and explaining, you know, my situation at least. But yeah, I mean, of course I've changed, you know. And, you know, you know, younger, I used to talk about doing art when I was younger, art projects and stuff like that. But as an adult, I actually do them. Not all the time, you know, and I'm not a great artist, but I've always liked, you know, creating things, um, being around my own surrounding. I'm not an artist. No, I'm not an artist. I'm just somebody who enjoys art, or I also think that it's a great way of expressing yourself through art. Now, some people are professional artists. I'm not an artist, okay? But I think the reason why my family, you know, emphasizes my artistic ability, is mainly because they are intimidated by my intellectual abilities. Because in their mind, they're like, well, you know, you don't have a bachelor's degree, you don't have this or this. So all this means that equates that somehow I'm lesser of a human being. I look at it this way. I feel as though you've been exposed to this higher level education. So why is it that you make poor choices? Why is it that you don't understand law? Why don't you understand social sciences to the point of where you should have known better to do some dumb shit like this in the first place? You know, I'm just saying is that there's this sick family dynamic that I come from, you know, that I didn't realize, until now, which is about the age that most people realize that they are the family scapegoat. They say generally when people find out they're in their mid-30s, early 40s. It was a very long process for me to finally get what all this was about. But yeah, I mean, I do. I have changed, you know, a lot. Yeah, I mean, I have to say, though, as we've progressed through the years, certain things that have moved forward, I don't necessarily like. You know, there's a lot of people who are older than me, my age and older, who are complaining constantly, comparing how things were back then and how they are now, and they don't like it. And, you know, I'm one of those people. I'm not exactly crazy over all the things that have changed. You know, some of it's good and it's a benefit to me. Has made life simpler. You know, there's certain things, you know, like this get up, we have YouTube and making videos and stuff like that, which makes it great. I have to say that's a good thing. Okay, but then there's a point where it's just like you kind of miss how things used to be. You know, you kind of miss how things were simple and things, I mean, not things were never perfect, mind you, but it just seems like, you know, everything at certain time periods was much better than how it is now. I mean, like I said, we have advanced technology, which is great, but a lot of people are using it for wrong, selfish purposes, such as gang stalking. You know, making it easy to put your house under surveillance and all this other stuff. Communicate through gang stalking, so on and so forth. So that it's not. So I'm just really, you know, but when it comes to my personal life and my likes and tastes, I would say, yeah, most of my interests are from yesteryears, meaning some time period that's not really relating to this time period. You know, like a lot of the movies that I watch or seem like they're rehashed ideas from other movies or they're reboots or something, and or you know, it's just something. I don't know. It's just cinema, shit like that. It's just not the same, you know? I mean, I can go on and on about music, how that is, to me, I can't stand this shit, right? So, but there's a difference between somebody who likes things of time periods have gone past and then somebody who's out of touch with reality. Like if I woke up every morning with this idea that this is 1983, I would say that was one of the funner years of the 80s, right? 1983, 80, 83, being a young kid. If I was in love with that time period so much to where I still lived it, not just listening to a song every once in a while or whatever, but like I really lived it. Like I could not face life challenges. I was that fucking, detached from reality. That would be a problem. That would be a huge problem. But no, I'm not detached from reality. I'm fully aware of what it is, how old I am, how many years have been going by with all this stunting of my personal fulfillment and growth because of people being in my life that they shouldn't have been in there, So, yeah, I mean, it appears that way, but yeah, from just listening to what you may have heard through my ex-family, because I'm still, whether I want it to be or not, I was still in their environment. I was set up in jobs that were arranged by them, with their bullshit being thrown in, with their harassment bullshit being thrown in. And that's why. And when you don't respond to their harassment positively, as if you could, because it's fucked up anyway, then there comes the, campaigns, the slander, the, assassination, character assassinations, and so on and so forth. So this is what it is, I have changed a lot, I would say, by looking at things like in my room, like these little people bag I made. Yeah, the childhood was great. It was great. And I do like certain things that remind me of those innocent times. Like I miss being innocent. I do. I miss it. I miss that, like, when I was younger, I used to look outside and look at the sun, the pretty flowers, and I kept thinking, this is what life is all about. Like this, it's newness, it's freshness, it's like, things that you're eager to explore, and then you meet other fucking people, and you're like, oh wow, this is a reality check. It's not all sunshine and flowers. It's bullshit, and more bullshit. And even more surprising is that most of the bullshit is going on in your own home as you're being bullied by these people. It's so crazy. But no, I am. I'm older now. You know what I mean? And yeah, this is my choice, my little art choice. It's fun, arts and crafts. It does bring a newness or happiness to me, a joy to me. Who's to say if I was outside of this bubble, who's to say that I wouldn't meet other people like myself and be more creative, within my little social clique, which I deserve to have. But unfortunately, it's like they always want you in your little bubble, and it's sick. It's so sick, but this is how it is, and it's been that way. Like I left high school back in the 80s, and then all my jobs have been arranged by these people, or they've invaded my jobs. That seems kind of like the truth. Meaning, like, I always thought that when in the beginning, like I remember getting the pizza job and when I was younger or whatever, that I was working, and then all this bullshit was going on, and I didn't realize what was going on, and I kept thinking, what the fuck is going on? Now I understand. So this has been my entire life, being the scapegoat. And it's like my eyes are open now, and I'm like, okay, I get it. I've been scapegoated by my family. So, yeah, changed, but different. I mean, I'm changed, but I'm also the same in some ways. You know what I mean? I still, once you like something, you're always going to like it. You know what I mean? I still like watching, like, old black and white movies, or not very much anymore, of course. I mean, I hate sitting in front of the TV for long periods of time, but still, those are things I like. you know? And it's not that I don't want to try anything new, because, I have tried, like I've listened to newer music. I give it a try, and sometimes, like, after 5 seconds, just turn it off. I can't. You know what you like when you hear it. I can't do those things. But that's not any reason to gang stalk somebody or try to, what do you call it, change their mindset, It's like, I'm going to tell you right now, I never realized it. I'm going to come out and say it. I'm so sorry I was born into that family. If there was some sort of way I could have made some deal with God or something, like, I've heard, like, New Age people, and they come up with these ideas like, you chose your family. You chose your family before you came on the earth. And I just want to laugh at them, and they say shit like this. I wouldn't have fucking chosen that shit for nothing in the world. Now, look, I would say it gave me some advantages, you know what I mean? Because I was raised in a decent environment, meaning I went to decent schools and stuff like that. Growing up, because some people they live in poverty or whatever, and they come from worse situations than I did when it comes to finances or something. But when it comes to, like, being in a nurturing environment, there are some families that were able to provide that do a better job at providing that than my family, obviously. So, I mean, if I would have had full knowledge of that, but maybe I don't know, who knows, I don't know how that happened. I can go way, way back, try to figure out what was God thinking. I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know. But one thing, I don't even replay that. I want to separate my shit from myself here on this earth and hereafter. I don't ever want these people in my life again. Seriously. That's how much I think about the stuff that they did, and how destructive they are on so many levels. It's like, I can't help but think anything else other than demonic, which is deep. I mean, that's deep, okay? That is deep. When somebody wants to control your life to that point, to force you into a marriage, to manipulate your jobs, tell you, have people spy on you, what are you, eating, what are you doing, what are your hobbies, and then using bullshit little excuses to keep you out of the workplace and all this other stuff, and they don't care how you think financially or anything like that, because they want to bring you to your, that to me, my family has a what do you call it, a master slave type mentality, where they feel like they can dominate people to the point of where they're objects. That's sick. I think about how sick, my sick origins, okay, that I came out of the same womb as these fucking monsters. It blows my mind away. I mean, it blows me away. I'm like, wow. No, I wouldn't have chosen that. Okay, I don't know who came up with that idea, but I don't think so. Just because I listen to other people's ideas on, because like you have things like the Bible, right? Okay, but some of it doesn't really give you clear cut answers to certain questions, right? It might break off into a parable, or maybe one particular situation that's sort of like that, but it doesn't really. So you try to fill in the blanks, and people are trying to fill in the blanks. Okay, how is it that we can be in one situation and other people not be in the same situation? You wonder about these sort of things, okay? You do, okay? So I think, okay, no, I would not have chosen that. And especially, I'm 49 years old, and I'm trying to grasp on to the last little years that I have on this earth, and even though that I'm older woman, these people were still trying to basically put me in a cardboard box, meaning, like, they still wanted to continue to ruin my life. These people are evil. That's the definition of evil. And that's something I have to live with on a daily basis. That's what I was exposed to for years and years and years. And all the things that I didn't work out in my life, I'm thinking, these people are heartless monsters. How could I possibly like them? But anyway, yeah, I have changed. You know what I mean? And I've changed to something or someone that I appreciate when I make the contrast between how I was then and how I am now. You know, because I was a very confused person most of the time, and I felt like I wanted better things in life, but it seemed like every time I tried to do something, something would happen that would prevent me from doing certain things, or there was some sort of energy or negative influence in that environment, and I kept thinking, what is it? Like, I for a while, I remember Schlep Rock on stupid show, that Pebbles and Bam Bam show. I used to compare myself to Schlep Rock. I used to think, am I fucking Schlep Rock? Does shit just get fucked up the minute I walk in? I really, for a while, I really thought that. This is like when my late 20s and 30s, I kept thinking, what the fuck is going on? And then I realized that I'm an abused person. I really don't like, a lot of the sob stories that I see. I mean, I relate to it, okay? And I have sympathy for people who are from abused families, scapegoated, whatever. Because I'm going to tell you what, if you're a scapegoated kid, you have experienced the real pain, okay? It's just that, I don't want to ever come off as like I'm trying to gain sympathy or anything like that, because I know there's a lot of people out there who are scapegoats, okay? And I'm not the kind of person who likes to go out and tell people all my garbage and everything, and, or try to, I'm just not one of those people. I'm not trying to gain sympathy, okay? But I will tell you, what I've learned and understood is shaking to me. That's shake. That's like, oh my God. It's something that terrorizes me at night. That somebody would go this far. So what you've known in the past of me, when I was in school or whatever, I was somebody who was responding to the chaotic environment that was surrounded in. And that was the reason why I made so many poor choices, because the environment was absolutely unlivable. And now I know why. And it is a relief to know what happened in my life. It is a relief to know. But at the same time, it's like, it is disturbing to me. And I'm dealing with that mental disturbance a lot on a daily basis, I would say. Because you feel like these people are insensitive monsters, and somebody who would try to ruin your life in that manner, what wouldn't you do? What wouldn't you do? If somebody would do that, what wouldn't they do? And that's just how I look at it, I am different than my family. I am. Obviously, when you deal with golden child and versus the scapegoat, there's generally a huge difference, and that's what creates the tension. You're different. You're always different from them, and so they feel like, instead of accepting it, which is what love is, right? They want to bully you. For whatever reason, whether that be, your TV shows that you like, the clothes you wear, anything. So I know people have heard a lot about me, like, the gossip and the trash talking, I'm sure my ex-family has said about me on Facebook and everywhere else. I don't know, you just have to take it with a grain of salt. You can believe it if you want to, but really nothing is, I don't know. I mean, I think it speaks for itself. I mean, people who are around me, they know I don't really do much. And I would do more, if I was having an active life, meaning, I would do more with my life. I would have done more with my life if I wasn't always surrounded in that environment. You know, and once I did find something, like I would get to know people, then they would come in and they would sabotage those relationships too. It's just how it works. You know, it seems unreal. It does. It seems like, come on, you've got to be, that's just an exaggeration. My God, it's not an exaggeration. And for people who aren't, you know, from scapegoated families, I seriously think you should look into that subject. Like scapegoated families, like the golden child versus the scapegoat or the black sheep or whatever. You need to look into this so that you understand this is not some made up bullshit, because it's not. It's not made up bullshit. Somebody would actually want you to choose your marriage mate, your job, what you do, how you live, how you see things. Literally, that kind of control. Anybody who wants that kind of control is a sick person. That's sick. You know? And that's imbalanced. I come from an imbalanced family, like just most everybody. I mean, most families are kind of weird or whatever. They all have their issues, okay? But I'm just saying is, I know what it is. And sadly, there's a lot of people who are going to grow up and never figure it out. Like, they're going to blame themselves for everything. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of things I did that were wrong that people have to spend or pay some sort of consequence for. You know what I mean? But a lot of the things that happened in my life, I'm going to say a lot of them, was the result of being in a bullied environment. It's just the way it is, you know? And I understand that now. So anyway, I'm going to wrap up this video. I just want to make this video really quick. I know I need to get out there on my bicycle and enjoy some sunlight, which left. You know, like I said, it's playing peekaboo today. But I do want to get out of the house. And it's not good to be in the house all the time. There's some times where I wear sunglasses because, you know, my eyes have become so focused to the darkness. And then when I finally do go outside, and if it is a nice day, it's like, ooh, it's bright out here, you know? I think this is what a lot of people are experiencing because of the social distancing or whatever, trying to be in the house more than they're supposed to. That's another thing I'm not happy about. Not happy with this arrangement, you know what I mean? It's hard on people. It's very hard on people. Anyway, I'm going to wrap up this video. I'll be back with another later.